Time. It's happy time.
Are you gonna be Grabella today?
I
don't know if Starbuck would make all of the friends or kill all of them. It would depend on the day. Today, I think he would make all of the friends.
You can get like little flashcards and then like put them in front of him, and those are like your attacks. So you could just like, you know, like Bapcat one of them. You flip it over, you're like, ah, great weapon attack, or like, ooh, shoulder attack.
Grabella, such great claws you have.
Better to swipe you with, my dear.
Of course. Oh, this reminds me that I need to finish my story for my tabaxi, which I have not done.
Oh no.
It's pronounced Tabasco?
It's pronounced Cholula?
Tapatio is better.
Excuse me?
You heard.
Oh. I don't have
I like both of them, honestly.
Hot sauce hurts, so I don't have a preference.
That's fair.
I have that ginger gene that's like, yeah, no, you don't get to enjoy things that are spicy.
Oh no! I was going to start raving about the spicy curry I have in my fridge, because there's an awesome Thai place that opened up somewhat near me, and man, it is good stuff.
That's spicy water for Grabella.
Yeah, if I go to a place like that, I have to ask if they make white people versions. And usually they laugh, but they'll let me know if they do or do not. Some places are really smart these days and will ask you what spice level you want, which I appreciate. But yeah, like, I love the flavor of like Indian food and fucking Thai food, but my body it literally hurts, and then I am going to be in the bathroom for hours.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I know a couple people who are pretty sensitive to the spice.
Yeah. Yes, I'm brushing my hair.
All right, I've got. Oh wait, no, I don't have my drink. I have my thermos of water for survival, but I need my sugar water for enjoyment. I'm lacking my sugar water. I've learned that the dual wielding thing actually like keeps me hydrated more, because I have like my thermos on my left side and like the sugary drink on the right side. I'm like, I'm thirsty, I'll drink water. And I'm like, I need sugar stimulation like a freaking hummingbird. Soda.
I am they usually call that bisexual drinking, because you can't make a decision, or pansexual.
Oh, that's fair.
Or you're just a drink gremlin, which is usually a trait of said.
I do like hoarding them. What about drink dragon? Because then the drinks can be my hoard, and then I have like the water for survival, and then the soda for enjoyment, and the coffee for necessity.
This works.
I need all of these
drink
things.
Hoard. But I am that person. I have 3 to 4 to make. So.
I'm gonna get my sugary soda, and then we'll get started. Oh, everybody's already in the VTT. Great. I don't have to yell at people like Nick to get into the game. Alright, I'll be right back in about 1 minute, and then we will fire it up!
Hi, Purper.
Alright. Monster energy. Oh. I'm the worst.
I'm a Rockstar person, personally.
What?
Listen, Rockstar makes a non-carbonated energy drink that doesn't taste shitty.
Non-carbonated?
Really?
Yeah, the Rockstar Recoveries.
Oh.
I've not had those.
Oh, I love those.
It's actually
Yes,
been
so
a
do I.
hot minute. I forgot that they were non-carbonated.
They're like a Gatorade energy drink in a way.
Oh, nice. Sounds like the recoveries. Oh, recovering from hangover fuel.
Yes.
Alright, I'm all sugared up and my codependent cat is like quite literally following me around and has now decided that, you're not going to be quiet in your office and has run off because he hates the sound of human voices. I don't know, he's freaking weird. But anywho, welcome back everybody. Happy Monday. I every time I say that, I'm like, how's everybody's Monday? And I was making this joke with my Friday crew, and I'm like, I ask everybody on Monday, happy Monday, how was your Monday? And it's just like, shut the fuck up. Alright, okay. So now I have to inject, like, the happiness of like, my Monday into the Mondays. Like, hey, new crumble cookie flavor is out. And everybody's like, I don't know, fuck it, I'm on a diet. I'm like, no.
What is the special cookie this week?
So there's lemon poppy seed.
Ooh.
There's monster, which has like M&Ms and oatmeal and like peanut butter and brown
It's
sugar.
a monster, like all regular.
Yeah, it's like an
cookies.
amalgamation. There's like Texas sheet cake, which is like a chocolate cake with like pecans on top. Raspberry cheesecake, and then
Texas
a sea
makes
salt.
some weird cakes. I'll
Right?
fully say it.
I was
I was
like,
born there.
question mark? Like, what is Texas sheet cake? And it looks like a chocolate cookie, so I'm like, okay, I might be missing something. Maybe it's like in the frosting or whatever, but I'm
Some
like...
of them are actually really good. Some of them are not.
The last one was sea salt toffee, and I'm like, I'm pretty excited about that one.
That does sound Texas sheet cake.
Yeah, Texas sheet cake.
Looking at the cookie crumble porn. Okay, that one actually looks decent. The raspberry cheesecake one, though, holy shit.
Mm-hmm. I was telling C-Swab that I like the consistency of the cookie because it's more like a soft graham cracker than like a cookie or a cake.
Yes.
Yeah. I like that. Alright, anywho, out of the fantasy of my crumbles and into Arctis, everybody in the VTT looks like we are. Alright. Previously on Arctis, after you all took over the Maginox docks and officially are businessmen and women of Maginox, you have a curious invitation. To one Catherine Ravensblood. Fuck, I've done it again. The possessive of Catherine Ravensblood is very hard to say. But you had an invitation to her manor to talk to some of the Maginox elite about the current social status of the city that you have injected yourself into. My God, I can't. Hold on. I need this drink. I need it very badly. Ooh, Lord. Okay. And after, Kozlov's burgeoning criminal empire crossed with Grabella's slowly growing kobold horde and Azrael's pet collection, which may or may not include C-Swab in that, I'm not sure at this time. But
You're all my pets.
is everyone just Azrael's Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure Grabella's like the Charizard, so.
You don't have
Yeah,
enough
we'll look at that.
badges to control me. Bah!
Which I'm not entirely upset about. I should clarify. That will be the Charizard.
Now, it seems like the royalty of Maginox has decided to give you an invitation. As you are new to these politics and have now proven yourself to be a force in Maginox, having multiple minions at your disposal, not only within the city, but outside the city in the form of the kobolds. But now the nobles want to see what they're dealing with, and have invited you to a formal dinner. Kozlo and your companions have arrived at Catherine Ravensblood's manor, which was currently guarded by a couple of curious were-ravens, and inside you saw not only were-ravens, but Kenku and other humanoid bird people that were wearing the faces of birds, but clothing fit for humans. And most of them looking similar to Sea Swab, and some of them having other abnormal appendages, such as wings growing out of their back. Unlike Sea Swab, who is very flightless and lacking wings. Did I mention he can't fly? I'm just gonna rub it in, just to annoy Sea Swab. And after some kind introductions, the were-ravens led you deeper into Catherine's manor. And upon entering the dining room, you found a massive banquet table dotted with cheeses and breads, and a massive roast bird of some sort in the center of the table. On the opposite end, one Catherine Ravensblood, a long-lived vampire with a curious past that you don't know much about yet. But to her side, a intimidating figure, a deep crow with too many eyes and insect-like mandibles, curled in front of a fire like a large, docile house cat. And now, it is time for your formal dinner, and depending on how this goes, it may change your current status in Maginox. Catherine is one of the leaders of the ruling houses here. And, well, let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes without giving too much away. Azrael, no spoilers. Let's begin. Seated at the banquet table, along with Azrael, Sea Swab, and a couple of other were-ravens, Catherine Ravensblood observes the gathering, while a drow dressed in simple clothing pours alcoholic drinks from glass decanters on a nearby table. The deep crow, currently curled up in front of the fireplace, sleeping, its reddish eyes all closed and lidded, as its large feathery body sleeps soundly. You have just sat at the banquet hall, and there are various accoutrements on the table in front of you. Catherine gestures with a hand for you to eat. Please, enjoy yourself. We'll not get into formal questions right away. I want you to be comfortable.
Does the food look like food?
It does. In front of you are some napkins and wheels and rinds of cheese. Depending on how cheese knowledgeable you are, there are thick wheels of sharp cheddar and Swiss, brie, and some other moldy cheeses that have a oddly rank smell to them. But on the sides are small pots of jams and honey. Kozlo, make me a perception or investigation check, if you are keenly eyeballing the food in front of you. Coslo, as you look about, things do not seem amiss. Even the knife that she has proffered to you to cut the cheese is a sharpened cheese knife and could be used as a weapon.
I feel like Kozlo just goes for it and starts munching on things.
Catherine smiles as you begin to dig into the cheese. She glances over at Seaswab and Azrael and Gorbella to see if they too enjoy the food.
Oh, I don't really eat things. Thank you, though. It looks what I assume would be lovely.
Yes, same.
Would you care for anything else during this time? Perhaps a book to sate your appetite for knowledge?
Oh, actually, would you mind if I pet your horrifying crow abomination over in the corner?
She glances over at the sleeping deep crow. And back to you. Surely you jest.
Oh, no, not at all.
He loves every kind of creature you could probably think of, and the ones that haven't even been think of.
Her eyebrows lift in mild, obvious surprise, but she gestures with a slender hand to the crow. Be my guest.
Oh, thank you. Azrael will stop a few feet away.
The smaller eyes of the deep crow open first, the ones that are centered on its forehead, and two beady beams of red light emit from the depths of its skull. Its mandibles open slightly as you approach, taking in the air, quivering slightly. It looks over briefly at Catherine. She gives it a soft nod, and it just goes back to sleep, curling up once again in front of the fire.
Azrael approaches, like, respectfully, you know, like you don't sneak up on a cat, you just crouch low and kind of extend a hand, let it sniff you if you want.
One of its 8 eyes again opens up, and it kind of opens a mandible slightly towards your hand. I suggest touching the nut-biting parts.
Oh, that's usually a good idea, yeah.
It enjoys behind-the-ear nodules on the head.
Oh, thank you for the tip. Azrael will kind of like stroke along the side of its face, like the feathers, and then finding the ear nodule, kind of do a little scritch.
There is a low rumble that comes from the deep crow that reminds you of like earthquakes deep under the earth. It is a ominous rumble in its chest, somewhat akin to a purr.
Well, that's it. Azrael's done. You guys have a good dinner.
Well,
Catherine seems slightly uncomfortable with this, but she allows it. Coslo, the cheeses that you are eating are quite delicious, and there is a wide variety in front of you. You can fill up on cheese.
Oh my god, I love cheese!
The were-ravens that are with you, the ones to your left and the right, are also eating the same cheeses. And they begin just munching on crackers and making a little bit of a mess. The drow comes up and sweeps some of the crumbs away. So, Coslo, my name is Catherine Ravensblood, and welcome to my home. I should introduce myself before asking you a multitude of questions. but fair warning. I am here for some information. You are a relatively new face to town, and I am attempting to, well, see where your interests lie. I will be open about this. But I will tell you a little bit about the current political landscape of the city that you have injected yourself in. Now as I mentioned, my name is Catherine. The Raven's Blood House is an old one with ties to were-creatures, namely humanoids that can shift forms between, well, humanoid and animal. I, for one, was once a were-raven, but have chosen a life under the constant vigil of the moon in order to better serve this region. And what about you, Coslo? Where are you from?
Kinda all over the place. I kinda move around a lot. Honestly, spend more time here than any place at this point. I got a big family, but we don't really hang around with each other too much.
A family. That is good to hear. Do you keep in touch with them?
Some of them. Not really, though. They're kinda assholes.
I'm sure they would be more than happy to hear of your success. But I digress. And what of your friends you have brought here with you today? They can, of course, speak for themselves if they so desire.
Kozlo is still stuffing his face with cheese, so he just kind of nods at everyone.
Grabella kind of fidgets at the squish and looking at Sea Swab.
Please, don't be shy.
Where are all of us really from?
A wanderer. And, dare I say, brother. She looks over at Sea Swab. What is your name, my friend?
They call me Sea Swab.
Is there anything else you would like to, well, say about yourself?
Not really. This is sort of Kozlo's dinner. I'm just a +1.
He's kind of the numbers guy. There's a lot of like contracts and negotiations and shit for my little enterprise.
I see. Well, it's good to have a good eye in your employ. And your bodyguard, I take it?
Yeah, I'm the manager.
she just taps her little club on her side. Not in like a threatening way, in kind of a cutesy way.
I see. You manage the men.
Well, you know, I helped acquiring a lot of our newest and finest workers in a multitude of ways, but a lot of it's the beat 'em up and save people kind of stuff.
I see. And what of you? She clears her throat towards Asriel.
Oh, well, what about me?
Yes. I was looking for some introductions. I could have your name so I could best address you.
Oh, hi, I'm Asriel.
Hello, Asriel.
I don't know where I come from. I don't come from anywhere, actually. Ezra just shrugs and goes back to scratching the deep grow.
Catherine looks like she's having a big think in Asriel's direction before she turns back to Coslo. Well, Coslo, the swab of Grabella and Asriel. Welcome to Maginox. You have decided to come here at a very interesting time. Maginox is a place of commerce and trade, and we get a lot of foot traffic from those who wish to experience the danger of the night in a safe and comfortable place. And I'm glad that you have decided that you want to be a part of that. He nods at Coslo and everyone else at the room.
When you said you introduced Imaginox and you said the danger, I just wanted to be like, you see us walking around your streets and you think of danger? No. We are the danger.
that is more apt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine.
Well, Miss Raven's blood, I cannot speak for Coslo. I can only speak for myself. We appreciate this gesture of this beautiful dinner. But we have a feeling there's something that you want from us. Or maybe more from Coslo. This is about debts. We can go over your books.
Debts? No. No, not debts. This is more about collaboration and understanding. Maginox is a very curious and very potentially dangerous place. And it's good for Coslo to understand that he might be getting himself into some politicking he may not know of yet. So I'm here to get you up to speed.
C-Swab pulls out his little ledger with it has one of the sides the copy of the contract with Lena. He's like, okay, we got Catherine Ravensblood wants to be slotted in for a collaboration here. We got Narcissa still. We have Lena. We have the bar. We have Grabella's horde kind of to the side here.
Oh, don't forget my petting zoo, C-Swab.
Oh, yep, sorry, yep, Azrael's petting zoo. All right, Catherine, so we're open to your offers. We do have some other soft alliances in the works. Depending on what you want, how that conflicts, we can negotiate from there. I do have to say that from my initial understanding of Azrael, the Deep Crow is going to be part of the negotiation.
Catherine, you just see her drumming her fingernails on the table. Mm-hmm.
Or at least getting to know it.
C-Swab is kind of perched on his chair with this book open of just very matter of factly looking down at the book and just sort of trying to figure out okay, what do we have to offer? What could she want? And he kind of leans back in the chair and goes, "What's your offer, Miss Raven's Blood?"
My offer currently is knowledge, but I haven't asked for anything yet. Let's not be too hasty. I want to get to know you before I begin asking things of you, lest I ask something of you that you possibly could not handle.
That's smart. A lot of people have already done that to us.
I mean, we've managed 98% of it anyway. Or multitasking when we didn't know we were multitasking.
Let me get you up to speed. The Maginox ruling council has currently had a shift in power. And one of the ruling houses of Maginox that belonged to the Vicadus is no more. Other houses have fallen in turn, as they had been cavorting with otherworldly, corruptive presences. These houses had been infected from the inside. Catherine
What
glances
way?
down at the table.
What way do you mean infected?
Desire is a cruel disease. She looks up at Grabella. The Hamaki house, mainly, had become infiltrated by a demon. This demon had taken up host in the leader of the Hamaki house, assuming it had come to her in a time of great need. The Hamaki drow, she glances over at the drow who is currently meandering about the room, had followed suit, unknowing that their leader had already begun corrupting her subjects. We want to ensure that there is no remaining demonic presence in Maginox. We are creatures of the night, not creatures of evil.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
Tell me, Coslow, and your friends, have you seen anything curious? Otherworldly? Perhaps demonic?
Kozlo kind of thinks for a moment.
There was this weird totem thing that the
No.
Thieves Guild had. I mean, that the Thieves Guild had.
I believe we acquired it.
She puts her hand on Coslo's shoulder.
No. Go on.
Well, the totem thing, I think we destroyed. I don't remember. Yeah, we would have. That place is burned to the ground now.
It's, you know, a lot of darkness, as you said, seeping into, organizations and stuff around town.
In fact, I think it was a bunch of them hibachi peoples.
Hibachi?
She just kind of looks at him.
In the Thieves Guild, yes. I have heard from some little birds that some of the Hamaki who were displaced from their fallen house had attempted to find work there. How unfortunate that you had to come and blow it up. She grabs a little bit of bread, butters it.
Yeah, they've been re-employed where we, able to get a hold of some of them, at least the loyal ones.
You can see her just thinking about what's his face.
We have a very strong onboarding and HR team working diligently.
Yeah, HR is actually pretty thorough.
I see. And all of your clientele that are currently at the docks, they seem to have popped up out of nowhere.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
not nowhere. Hold on a second. I don't like the idea being thrown around that it came out of nowhere. We, as in the four of us and allies, cleaned up the docks, thus allowing commerce to continue into a safer place.
Kozlo
Yeah.
just nods like Yep, exactly. That's totally what we did.
They were literally destroying things instead of, keeping them to make into something good for this place. So they kind of needed to be handled. But, as previously mentioned, they didn't come from nowhere. We like helping people that are, less fortunate or, taken advantage of. Have you ever heard of a blood hag?
Catherine looks down at the table. Everybody can make me an insight check.
Well, somebody did it.
Listen,
C-swab.
she has an army of Kenku and birds around here. I better be very insightful to what's going on.
Rebella has no fucking idea. That's fine.
Kozlo likes cheese.
Kozlo is just fucking in that cheese. Okay, 26 and 27 insight.
Cheese text.
Azrael, you can see Catherine, she pulls her hands off the table and begins, picking at her nails slightly under the table, almost, worriedly. In the way she shifts in her chair, C-swab. She's visibly uncomfortable. I am vaguely aware of what a blood hag is due to some of my previous talks with Faye.
Yeah, let's just say we've recently taken care of one, and, I helped a lot of people out from a multitude of, both imprisonment and servitude that, maybe, given the right opportunities, they could be better people. And,
for C-swab and Azrael, she knows more than she's letting on.
I was about to ask. I was gonna I wanted to know if from my insight if she's fishing for information off of what she already knows, because I'm under the assumption that all of her little ravens know plenty about us already,
Mm-hmm.
and that she already knows who we are and what we've done, and she's just gauging the temperature of how cooperative or pain in the ass we might be.
Mm-hmm.
The blood hag being killed was probably relatively new information, though I don't remember if we talked about it in public. We probably did.
We also killed it in a pocket plane, so
Yeah.
but, that is, a lot of where our group derives from, as well as, other areas. We have, people working hard for us that are, a little off the beaten path.
She just smiles.
Ezreal just leans back as they're scratching the deep crow. Wait, you said you've had some dealings with blood hags in the past? Could you expand? This was our first one.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of concerned that there might be more.
Blood hags are rare, but they occur. Namely, they are hags that have taken a liking for vampirism and vampiric blood. Catherine is visibly picking at her nails underneath the table now. Azrael?
Oh, that's interesting because this one took over all of Vicaris, yes.
Yeah, and a jail, and was
Well, the
eating...
jail's part of Vicaris, right?
Yeah.
Vicaris jail.
Earth Ganassis?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
She also poisoned all the earth elementals and was trying to poison the fire elementals too, but I don't think that worked out so well.
But basically, we've brought a lot of people into our ranks through helping them get away from ugly stuff like that, and providing them a better future. Which is all we're really looking for.
She kind of looks at Casa.
Benevolent employers,
Eh, it all works out for everybody. Nobody has to be getting their blood sucked out, their face ripped off, or other great, wonderful things.
Except the ones who do.
Catherine stares at the basket of bread in front of her for a long moment, enough for the drow to come to her side and pour her a glass of wine. She waves him away. Tell me more about what transpired in Vakaris, if you don't mind.
C-Swab is gonna kind of grow a little bit more confident, kind of sit up a little bit more straighter. He's gonna walk over to grab some bread from in front of Catherine here, go back to his seat, and he goes, "How about you tell us what you already know, which seems to be more than you're letting on, Miss Ravensblood? You mean to tell me that none of your little ravens around here have seen what we've been up to?" Takes a bite of his bread, pecks at it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll tell you if you don't know something, but if you already do, could save us all a little bit of time.
That's fair.
Arbella, she definitely knows more than she is letting on. Isn't that right?
My birds do watch what's going on in Maginox, but they are loath to enter domiciles in caves. And so, yes, I have been keeping an eye on you for some time, but I have also been very busy. And I've also been forced to do some recent remodeling. He frowns.
Yeah, what happened there?
With the houses being in turmoil, Vicadus being the house mainly of vampires, Umbralis the house of specters, ghosts, and undead. We're primarily involved in She stares at the bread again. Attempting to get demonic presences to infiltrate our world.
Are you the one who hired the assassins?
She blinks and looks over at you. Assassins.
Well, yeah, everybody on the street was talking about these super cool, really scary assassins that murdered all the houses. But nobody knew who hired who to kill who.
She... evil anime laugh, dot wave.
Yeah, that's the most unnerving thing she's done this whole time. What's going on?
She went from nervous to,
Assassins? No. Not assassins, but yes, they were most certainly pivotal in rooting out the corruption that had festered within House Vicadus and House Umbralis. And just due to the power and the relevance of those two houses, there was a significant shift in clientele. But we also wanted to ensure that those serving House Vicadus and Umbralis weren't further affected by the demonic corruption that House Hamaki was involved in. House Hamaki seemed to have a demon of desire that infiltrated their leader. And luckily, these assassins that you call were the ones that discovered the demon within Laryl Hamaki and were able to drive it out. They're not assassins. They're heroes.
But they're people you hired to murder the heads of the other houses, so that's kind of the same thing.
She shakes her head. There was no exchange of money.
Or services.
She bites into the bread a little bit.
Insight check!
Get him, Azrael, get him!
Oh, shit.
We're gonna, just for shits and giggles, because I always forget about this, I'm also gonna knowledge from past life.
Oh, damn you. Okay.
We have that and don't use it nearly enough.
Yeah, I know.
Both of us. I'm shaming both.
Okay, Azrael. It's a tie. You meet each
Ties go
other's
to the winner.
eyes.
She looked at me, and I looked at her.
And I looked at me, and I looked at her. You meet each other's gaze for a moment. Services were exchanged. I asked something of them, and they provided. So yes, a favor for a favor.
So assassins. Azrael goes back to petting the deep crow.
Catherine sighs.
So, Miss Ravensblood, what exactly is the favor you want of us then?
The favor
That
I
is
want
why
of
we
you.
are here, right?
I mean, she might actually just be getting to know us. But
I
she's
think you
already...
said too much cheese, because I can take a lot of this off your hands for you.
Also, I feel like is definitely like stashing it in his bag like a grandma.
The
At a
cheese
buffet.
is fucking gone.
We're, I think she's trying to, figure out what we're capable of, knowing what she is capable of, and capable, you know?
Oh, Grabella, I definitely think she knows what we're capable of. Otherwise, she wouldn't have invited Kozlo.
It's true.
Kozlo just has cheese falling off of his face.
And I sincerely doubt that the head of one of the great houses would just meet us to meet us.
Why is
Oh,
that so?
you're definitely
Kozlo,
right.
or not Kozlo, Seaswab like kind of like stares at Catherine with like his beady little fucking Kenku eye, little shimmer of like ocean blue in there, just like stares at her.
Why do you think me to be deceitful? You and I are practically brother and sister.
And I'm deceitful, so if we're almost brother and sister, then I would venture a educated guess that you are also deceitful.
When I need to be, and when it is necessary to protect those that I care about.
And that's something I think we can all understand.
Of course, within reason. But my job here, my goal, I am a warden of this land. I care much for Polaris and what happens within it. And I, as a former were-beast, but now vampire, have a very curious place in this society. For one, we are trying to get the favor back from the Fae courts. We have noticed that Maginox has lost some of its sparkle with the lack of the Fae, and we are trying to do what we can in order to ensure that the Fae courts return to the ruling houses of Maginox in order to provide their important insight. Now you, as a businessman, I do want to know where you sit. I do want to understand if you have any previous holdings to House Vicadus or any love for them. I know you have worked with Lena in the past. Lena is also on this ruling council now that the former head of the Umbrellas house is no more. And she has told me much about you. And so, I have decided to invite you to my home for a kind dinner. It is not out of the blue. But you have been on my radar for some time. And I thought it would be a kindness to meet formally, get on the same page, and if you wish to be a burgeoning businessman within our fine city ranks, then I can help you accomplish that.
Seaswab like reopens his book to the page with like the Lena and Brala's contract. Okay. So you can help us accomplish something we're already accomplishing, huh?
He smiles. How is business? Slow?
We're adjusting some things to make things work a bit better.
I don't know that we actually really know what business is doing. We very rarely pay attention to things like that.
It's kind of an irrelevant question, though, right? Because business could always be better.
It could be. And you seem to have taken quite the residence at the docks. The presence of your people there is notable. Why the docks?
Well, look at it this way. I run a bar, right?
Right.
Who's the best person to have in a bar? People with money.
Of
And
course.
where do people with money come from? Ships. So when I heard that the docks was getting all burned down and shit, that none of the ships was coming in, and just so happened to have more than a few friends that was looking for something new to do, thought why not do myself a good deed? It helps out the city and helps me at the same time, eh?
I see. And what of the other goods that come through the docks? Ones that do not belong to you? What is your plan for those?
That's right, they go where they're supposed to go after a small tax and tithe has been paid.
Yeah, we gotta keep things running, obviously, but I'm not trying to steal everybody's shit or nothing. That just gets you a reputation as a bad port, and then the ships stop coming anyway.
And how
Miss
are you?
Ravenswood?
Yes.
Sorry.
Go on.
I do not mean for this to come off as rude. I am very respectful of the generosity you have shown us. But you are the second head of a great household here who seems to be interested in word only that they care for Madronox, yet you didn't seem to do much when the city was burning. It was the four of us and some of Kozlo's associates that cleaned it up.
Catherine, hold on. I'm sorry you think that way. But it is far from the truth. There have been multiple points of conflict, not just the docks within Maginox. Many things are happening. Not just you.
I agree that many things are happening, but we are but one small group of four. You have a whole house here.
She looks. I have.
Inside check. Liar. I don't know if she's lying or not.
My house is a kindness, a gathering. And
Gathering of assassins?
no, of ravens, silly bird. We are messengers. We are spies. And we do watch. But our ability to act is somewhat limited. We are not built for war. We are not built for conflict. But we have been able to send word where it is needed, to those that need to hear it. And thus, I still have a home that stands today. And you have a bar to return to. That is what I want to continue happening in this city. Normalcy, for commerce to continue, for the people to come here and be happy, drink at your bar, and enjoy their lives.
Well, what are you, looking to get a better piece of? Why don't we just, cut to some of the more brass tacks? I think we're all bludgeoning business people here, or, people that are able to take care of quite a bit of things.
Very well. First, I'd like to discuss your control over the docks and your supplementary tax to goods that are not your own. This has caused some ire within the merchants, and they have brought it up to the council. What do you propose, Coslow? They feel like your tax is too high, and they are unhappy, and they wish to go to other ports of call.
Kaza looks thoughtful for a moment.
Well, I don't want people thinking that we're not a safe port, but also, there's a lot of people that need to be paid for their services, yeah? And the best way to keep a port from getting corrupted is make sure there's a good reason not to, start taking bribes and shit, or shaking people down.
I am worried about that with your people, Coslow. It seems like your ragtag band of those you have saved from Gal Lavare live off of your kindness and your money. I worry that if your funds run dry and the boats stop hitting the docks, that they will turn on you as fast as, well, thieves.
Then make up your mind. Do you want me to take less of a tax so I don't have money to pay my people?
You must be reasonable, or else the merchants and the people who sell your goods may acquire them elsewhere and avoid your ports. It is a conundrum, yes, but I wish to solve it with you.
What do you propose then? If it were you in charge, of course. Or if someone was thinking about bringing somebody else in.
And she's raising an eyebrow at her.
Well, either you must convince the people, the townsfolk and the merchants, that the tax you are placing upon them is worth it, and you are giving them the protection that they need, a service that they value. You have not proven that, you have only taken. Perhaps if you meet with them in person and do them a kindness, they may be more receptive to the higher tax.
Tell you what, we'll do one better than that. Not only will we meet with them, but we'll bring a complete itemized list of all of our expenses that spells everything out in detail so they can see exactly where the money's going.
And Kaza nods at C-Swab as he says that.
I'm certain that would put their minds more at ease to see numbers and accounting.
And you also have to keep in mind, we did a lot of this cleanup of everybody else's mess, and we haven't gotten paid for that either.
Who still owes you money?
Oh, I'm just saying, the docks and half the city not burning down was because of us. During the little, as you call it, uprising.
That is fair. And I do
There
have to
is
warn
then
you.
naturally gonna be a little bit of time where our expenses are a bit higher than they will be once everything's back up and functional again, yeah?
Of course. I understand that, but the people you are taxing may not. But this is good. This is a start. I do wish for your business to flourish and the docks to be safe. It benefits all of us when there is a steady stream of people coming to the city, and they must feel safe and have fun, good drink, and good food.
C-Swab will acknowledge what Kozlo and Grabella said, but also turn and is very much of the idea that Catherine is negotiating from a place of not really much to work with. So C-Swab will be like, well, Miss Raventhorpe, there's a couple of holes in your proposal that I would like to just go over real quick. One is, you say that these ships will go elsewhere for their goods. Well, they already kind of were when the docks were not very polite to them to begin with, and as soon as we clean them up, they started to slowly come back. So yeah, there is going to be a little bit of a higher tax on the fact that Maginox is now back open for business. Number 2, if the council has a problem with what we're taxing, I suggest that they not allow the port to burn and allow a bunch of ragtag guys to come in and save it. And girls, sorry, Gabella. And thirdly,
People.
if the
She
tax,
just smiles.
if the tax is that high and you want it to continue, maybe House Ravensblood can subsidize some of the costs for them.
Catherine thinks. I would be
You make
open
note
to
of
that.
Kozlo and Grabella having rescued Lavari people in their employ for money, yet I seem to see a drow over here serving drinks that doesn't seem like they're very happy to be here.
Catherine chuckles. It is unfortunate that House Hamaki was also the house that was House Hamaki was the house that had a lot of guards that guarded the city, and when they turned, following House Vicadus, unfortunately, many of the guards that protected the city went with them, and thus chaos began to reign. She
Then
looks
I
over
think-
at the drow.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. She looks over at the drow. It's better now.
Better for who?
For us. She
Well,
smiles.
you know what's better for us is the fact that we clean up the docks for you, Warden of Polaris. We are the ones that help bring those ships back into port. So yeah, there is going to be a tax, and I think that the tax will stay the same. And if you want us to lower it for the merchants, we can move that cost over to you.
Catherine chuckles. Of course. How, pray tell, would you enforce that?
She's got a point. While I do agree, Seaswab, that we are owed way more than we have for what we've done, a meeting with the merchants is probably smart. But I would be curious on what Miss Ravensblood would like to be involved with the docks other than seeing them work well.
Functioning is my highest priority. I want to get Maginox back to normal. I want the bars flowing with mead and the streets lined with smiling faces. You are crucial to that plan, and ensuring that at least the merchants are happy with the docks and happy with the amount of ships coming in, and happy with their goods and the safety of it. And to make sure you're not shaking them down for more than they ask. My ravens have told me that the docks are no longer burning and that you have blown up whatever guild these thieves have been collecting in. And I did want to thank you for that. There have been many fronts in this Maginox conflict that we've had to address, but now things can begin to heal. I understand your initial hesitancy, but I do want what's best for all of Maginox.
Did
Now-
your ravens tell you why we blew that place up?
No, they did not.
Because they were selling people. People of Maginox even.
And the Hausamaki people literally had brands on them.
Asriel, you are startled because the deep crow moves.
Oh,
Catherine looks over at the crow and puts her hand kind of aside.
And this is why, as much as we want to lower things and get things moving in a way for everybody, there's a lot of things that needed to be rooted out, not just whatever this demon problem was that you had. Which is something we're also willing to take a look at. Obviously, we're quite capable of more than just managing a few businesses.
What is the deep crow actually like? How does it move?
It gets up and it turns towards Catherine and all its eyes open. And then it makes a low grumble in its chest.
Does
It's
it
not
walk
look-
like a horse with wings, like a Pegasus type creature, or is it like more like a dog?
It is four-legged. It'll walk like a horse.
Ooh.
It's more like a it looks more like a hippogriff or like a Pegasus. Definitely like lion-like hindquarters and bird-like front quarters.
It has so many quarters.
4 quarters. Forgive him. His emotions are slightly tied to mine. I'm sorry, did you say they were selling people?
Yep, literally branded him. Had him marked for sale, like a fucking box of shit.
Gabella's tone has changed. She's not angry at her, but also angry at the situation.
Catherine just shows like a little bit of teeth, almost unconsciously. What or whom was selling people?
The Thieves Guild. And what's his face? What the hell was that guy's name?
Circus?
Yeah,
Circus,
Circus.
Hamaki. Don't worry. We killed him for you. Like we do for everybody else around here. We are the ones that clean it up.
And obviously we're in it for other reasons.
She looks at C-Swap like, we can't be complete
And
assholes here.
C-Swap looks back at her like, shut the fuck up, lady. We're in negotiations. I don't need you spilling the beans.
I mean, we need money, but we also need her on our side.
Okay, well, you know.
Catherine makes a weird sound in her throat that sounds almost like a... and the were-ravens look up, and one goes over to the drow. Opens the door. Takes him out. The other one leaves. C-Swap, you actually understood what she said. She just said, leave us. In Raven speak.
C-Swab kind of gets a little bit more like, not as like defensive and combative, but more of like a, oh, things just got interesting in a good way.
She gets up and puts her hand on the crow's head and it begins to shut its many eyes. Forgive me, Asriel, but I believe our next conversations will be best left without the presence of our friend here. He may become agitated.
Okay. Azrael gives him one more scritch behind the ear.
Don't worry, Azrael. Whoa! The Deep Crow's still on the negotiation table.
Gabella just face palms at this.
Listen, I can get Kozlo a hat from one house. I can get Azrael a Deep Crow from another house.
Go on.
Is it still on fire back there? Damn, Catherine.
Wait, is it on fire? No, there's a brazier
it-
out there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She comes and sits down closer to everybody. There. That's a bit more intimate.
We've been seeing some nasty things these last few weeks. Some things nobody wants to see or experience.
I don't want that in the city either. And I would be asking you a favor to root out the rest of that, but it is my fear that the residual pieces of House Hamaki might be trying to grasp at anything they can in order to eke out a living now that their house has fallen. The Vicadans I'm slightly less worried about. They will probably go scatter across Polaris. But the Hamaki, their leader is still alive. They don't know this, and they shouldn't know this, but I am telling you in confidence.
Oh boy.
Wait, the one you said was infected by a demon?
That's right, Laryl
So your
Hamaki.
assassins aren't very good then.
They weren't assassins, but they did manage to assassinate this demon. They had a cleric of the light that was able to force that demon out of the drow's body. But regardless, those are the types of things that we cannot have here in Maginox. For many reasons. Besides, we do not dabble in people. It's sick. We want people to come here of their free will, not to be chained up and sold. The Hamakis may be trying to do more of this at the docks. If you are truly keen on keeping Maginox a safe place, then it would do not just me a favor, but you, in order to ensure that the Hamakis do not continue peddling and kidnapping people. If they are resorting to that, make ends meet.
I hadn't thought about the fact that they were doing that. I had thought the thieves were just doing that. Shit.
Well, wasn't like Circus controlled by like that totem thing of like demonic energy?
I don't know that he was controlled so much as he was using it.
Yeah.
But like it definitely seemed like House Hamaki, like the circus and like the other Hamaki people, like took over the Thieves Guild when we were there.
Yeah.
Or had taken it over, rather.
Or at least had all the stuff from House Hamaki. Whether
Yeah,
they
there
had
were-
looted it or taken it or been sold it. The been
There were
sold
a
it thing was
significant
something
amount
new.
of things there from House Hamaki, but there was also some pillaging happening from Catherine's house as well. So she has also had to get some of that back.
She does bring up an interesting point, though, that if this is something that they were actually doing and well aware of, that's a problem.
There are more from House Hamaki that managed to escape in the chaos. And yes, you did blow up the guild, but those that may have been spared may be trying to gather in other places within Maginox. I would ask, not for me, but for you and your friends to keep your eyes open, and if you see any of this trafficking, immediately it must be stopped. If you cannot stop it yourself, then you must report it to myself and the council, and we will help you.
Well,
Who
you know,
is on
Catherine,
this
that
council?
sounds a little expensive, and now that our taxes are forced to be lowered, don't know what we can do.
And for the record,
looks at
we
Catherine
don't.
like, don't know what we can do.
Well,
For the record,
I have a
we're
couple
willing to
options.
do those things. We just may need a little bit of funding and supplies.
What is it you most need at this point?
Well, now,
No,
see, Catherine,
You
that
are a
depends, because-
young businessman. You have to be pulling yourself up by the bootstraps a little bit, yes? If you wanted everything handed to you, I would merely just invite you to my home myself and have you become one of my kindness.
And I have a feeling that if you wanted all the Hamaki dead, they'd already be dead and you wouldn't need us to do it for you.
Well, we just established that her assassins weren't that good.
That's true.
That's because
And-
oh my god.
I have little desire to have the Hamaki dead, but if they are trafficking people and do not wish to change their ways, then they must be stopped at any cost.
Well, good for you. We have a cost for it.
Unfortunately, he is kind of right. We are keeping ourselves above board best we can. But
See, right now
if
we're at
we're
a crossroads. Rebella is very correct. We're at a crossroads right now. You say that the council is unhappy about the taxes we set forth on the ships that are currently coming into Maginox.
No, the merchants are unhappy. I could care less what you tax them. None of that money goes to me. Why would I care?
You cared enough to bring it up.
Of course, it affects the commerce of Maginox. And you.
Do you know what else affects the commerce of Maginox? Trafficking in real people.
That is true.
And that's what was going on under your watch before we got there. And so yeah, if we need to tax a little bit higher to get everything back to where it was, the docks are a mess. Your ravens have seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. So we can help with your trafficking problem with any Hamaki we see engaging in it. That's not a problem. But we were kind of focusing on the docks and the bar, and we were expensed all for that. And, you know, Hamaki drow are very strong. Maybe a deep crow as a companion for our friend Azrael here would be very helpful as well.
is that how deep crows work, though?
Well, only if they want to come with.
I don't believe your friend Azrael has enough badges to control my deep crow.
I don't know. I did just teach my face spiders to fetch.
Perhaps if you would like to learn under my wing the ways of the land. But I feel that the deep crow is beyond your control for now.
Well, that sounds like a challenge.
Well, now you have Azrael's attention.
I have allies in Vakaris. And that is
Are
where...
you sure? Because a lot of people in Vakaris were apparently actually just possessed puppets by the Blood Hag.
What?
The
oh
High
yeah,
Lord
the king
was-
is the fucking dead.
What?
Yeah.
Well, the High Lord was actually just a Blood Hag wearing his face. He's been dead for years, apparently.
Yeah,
and then others.
Catherine stands up. What?
yeah, you were doing deals with a blood hag.
I'm
She's-
sorry. I thought they covered all of this while I was playing with the Deep Crow. You guys are
I
really
haven't gotten
bad
to
at this
that
whole
part yet.
briefing thing.
Well, I thought Miss Ravensblood had all the spies everywhere and knew everything.
Ravens don't fly underground.
Yeah, we were kind of in like a pocket of, you know, never mind. At any rate, yeah, that's a thing.
Vakaris? I guess Vakaris is kind of underground.
Well,
Catherine
also we
thinks-
were in the thing, in the stuff.
She just looks at Seesaw like, stop
was this?
talking.
Is that why?
She's what wasn't there. He doesn't know.
Catherine is mumbling to herself. Azrael, make me a perception check. The only thing you hear is how's Hamaki? Bats. That's all you hear.
But what about not Hamaki, Vakaris?
Yeah.
There were no bats. They were
Forgive
they
me.
were like tar possessing earth elementals and then a blood hag wearing people's faces. Oh, actually it did take Grabella's face. That was
Gerbella kind of
terrifying.
looks a little.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to fix my face, but
It's like sad eyes underneath the mask, but you see the
Right,
eyes
like-
moving.
You're like Grabella looks a little, and then it's just like all I'm picturing in my head is just big fucking dragon mask.
the important thing is she's dead. But I do believe your alliances. I mean, they could still be useful depending on who's gonna end up in charge down there, but
Big Booba Fire Lady seemed on the level.
yeah, we did like the fire lady who ran the college or worked at the college.
We should really find out what her name is at some point.
Hey, may I see your wound?
Sure.
She just takes the mask off.
They, had to kill my face so she couldn't do the thing she did to the Lord. My face was literally alive. It was gross.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me too. But,
But that's
you
how
know,
she was taking charge of, what's his name? The guy from the place?
the Lord Regent, yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah,
So the
he was
region.
wearing his face.
So Zin Vaki is dead.
He's been dead
Has
for a
been-
really long time. He
Which
died when the
is,
dragon ate everybody.
Interesting for, other reasons. Particularly that weapon that can be used against the undead is, well, basically, or more than likely, unless we have some really good, cool thing to negotiate with, not gonna happen ever again.
So the region lord. What is? Oh
You know,
dear, this is.
the-
She holds her head. Oh, this is. She sits down
Yes.
again in another chair. I must think.
Yeah, we took your meeting first, but we really should have. I hope Charlinda Wynn told them.
I pray. I hope she does not tell them. That would throw Vicaris into a similar state as Maginox.
Well, if
Perhaps
we told
even
the right
worse.
people, it might be okay though, right?
Vicaris has already had one terrible tragedy.
Yeah, that's,
But to tell them that the one that has been leading them after the tragedy has been a bloodhag
yeah,
the whole
he,
time.
actually died in that.
Grabella, like, shuffles her feet, like she's feeling guilty about that, even though she didn't do it.
Catherine,
So that's how long he's been dead. She had set up the jail, and there were a lot of the people going to jail to be sent to her lair with the blood draining of people, which that you seem like you. I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty, but she had basically sourced to herself an entire bunch of people that people weren't gonna care about, and
So they didn't ask questions.
yeah.
And these people that you rescued from Lavare, they weren't people just you rescued for no reason. They were captives of the blood hag.
Yep.
You guys really didn't cover anything while I was over there with the Deep Crow, did you?
Well, we were playing a little bit of checking each other out, looking each other up and down. You know how it is. Or maybe you don't. But at any rate, yeah. We've had a lot more going on than you even know about, which is pretty impressive, I would say. But,
Does the council not talk about these things? Because a lot of this information was known.
well, that part was not known to anybody.
I'm sorry, who's even on the council, actually? You, presumably, and I think maybe Lena, she mentioned that.
Yes, forgive me, I should have told you the entire ruling council. It is myself on behalf of the were creatures and vampires, Lena Umbralis on behalf of spirits and the ghouls, excuse me, the Geistborn, Eris and Alara, Eris Lunesti has taken his rightful place once again as a head of Maginox.
And what's he responsible for?
Catherine looks at the cheese like she's having a real big think.
Oh, you want some? Here, I'll pass it over.
Please. She just grabs a wheel and just kind of bites into the side a little bit.
Not how
Sorry
cheese
to,
works.
She's stress eating.
I mean, she is. She's a vampire as well, so she's probably just not even aware. She just wants something to bite on.
So yeah, we've been dealing with a lot. We're worth, honestly, way more than we get paid.
No, Grabella, she was going to say something. She was trying to distract with the cheese wheel. Let her finish
Oh,
distracting
yeah.
herself.
Just...
Eris is a heir to the throne, son of Alara Lunesti, once married to King Lucari Polaris, founder of this region and Maginox.
Oh, if you say so.
I...
So he just gets to be like not responsible for anybody. He just gets to hang out.
No, he is responsible for all of Maginox.
Boy, we gotta talk to this guy.
And who's responsible for all the goblins?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the reason why your city almost went to completion is because the goblins seem to really hate you guys.
Well, we don't wish to entirely compartmentalize by...
Well, what about the
creatures of light.
kobolds?
What kobolds?
Well, all the kobolds. There's so many kobolds.
Catherine,
There's like a dozen that show up every week now.
Gabella just like tries to make a face at Azrael but can't.
All I'm saying is it sounds like your council is missing a few things, and Kozlo and Grabella should totally be on it.
And
I'm
we'd
sorry,
like to
this-
do that. To
This
help.
council is not something that is merely in word, but also involves a pact and some ancient magics as well.
Oh, so it's systemic racism is what you're saying. Goblins and kobolds don't get a seat at the table?
Catherine opens her mouth and shuts it again.
Azrael's really up on the human rights stuff. And the pets' rights. All of the pets.
He almost unionized a bunch of zombies.
And he actually did.
Well, no, you guys all just missed a very important line in that. She said, powerful and ancient magic. Now, I know I haven't been around that long, but it seems to me that one of us fits that criteria, don't they? And Seesaw looks at Grabella.
Yeah, there's some things about me that I don't let off right the bat. But,
So maybe... Seesaw like flips to some pages in his little ledger here. Maybe we can come down on the taxes and come down on some of these other things and help clear out some Hamaki that are engaged in human trafficking. And maybe we get an interview for a spot on the council.
we would like to help.
Is
in a
this what
genuine
you
fashion.
want, Kozlo? Be a representative of goblinoid kind?
Seesaw's looking at Kozlo like, I'm fucking going for a Hail Mary here for you, motherfucker. Like,
This is a lot
time
of
trying to get you on the fucking council.
responsibility. We have opened at least participation to goblins in the past, but they tend to get bored quickly with politicking.
wow, just because they're goblins, they get bored with politicking. Oh my god, do you hear what
I
this
mean,
lady
he's
said?
look at.
Definitely
I mean,
sounds
he's
like
almost
you need a little
asleep.
bit more of a green voice on a council.
I dare say we may.
And, seems like we've been involved in a lot of stuff that, a lot more of you guys should know about.
The death of the Regent Lord of Vicaris is certainly something that wasn't on my checklist for today, no.
And sorry about dropping that on you. It sounds like you knew him at least.
We were trying to repair our relationship with Vicaris. Vicaris is an independent state. They do not wish to deal with the creatures of Maginox for a variety of reasons. Their past is littered with a lot of hate against those that are undead, and now, in addition, hate against those that are sympathetic towards dragons. The Vaki also hate kobolds with a passion, and I am surprised that you've seen any of them in vicinity of Vakaris.
We know where a few are.
But
And, some people are trying to make it so, Dragonkind isn't so much an asshole, but we do have a big problem about that, we can't put it on the back burner because of everything.
But Gravella just gets frustrated.
that is a problem if Lena did ask you to retrieve the Obliteratus, the hammer that lies in the vault of Vakaris.
It was for a good reason, for the record. But it is not something achievable at this point in time, at least. Not one that wouldn't involve in negotiating with somebody you probably don't want to.
Lena is much more concerned about that than I am, but as long as that hammer remains locked in the vault, I care little, and no Maginox royal representative is going to open that vault. Not in a million years.
Yeah.
Anyone with their hands on that thing could potentially rule Maginox with an iron fist. Everything here has been touched by some form of undeath.
Oh, even more reason to have goblins represented on the council then.
Yeah!
It would be nice to have both the goblins and the fae back on the council. A voice of reason and a voice for the green fingers. He smiles at Kozlo.
That's me! Ever the voice of reason!
There's a lot of things that I think, because people have been so busy with the politics and the other stuff that are really going... Well, people like us getting hired to fix it and do that or go after this, and... Well... people like us should also be telling you what the heck is going on.
No, this
Maybe more directly.
This has been very enlightening. And we have been forced to spend some of our coin in the hiring of mercenaries in order to continue the cleanup of Maginox. But aside from that, I don't want to treat you like simple mercenaries. I want our relationship to grow and flourish.
I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B doesn't hurt. We do like, our adventures.
We like to get very hands-on with our problem solving.
Yeah, I
I like-
manage them quite well.
And she taps her mace again.
Honestly, we could use something like that, like you, Oslo. Lena does see something in you, and I can see that now. My caution has mostly abated, but my worry has grown. Vakaris will be in unrest, and the death of their leader will cause a lot of finger-pointing. And if word gets out that the Blood Hag was responsible not just for the death, but the trickery of those of Vakaris, Blood Hags have backgrounds in vampirism, and you know the Vakarans are going to point their fingers at Maginox. Hence, my worry. Getting rid of the demonic corruption of the Vicadans and what was in the Hamakis as well was hard enough. And the Umbrallans, we were just lucky enough that she had materialized into the material plane.
We were told that he was killed by the dragon, were we not?
You were. But he's dead now, so...
He wasn't killed by the blood hag. I think she just took advantage of, the situation.
But that knowledge that the blood hag had taken him over from then until now.
Oh yeah, that's definitely still gonna suck, but,
You're not just going to have riots, you're going to have a damned revolution. That's nigh outright war. Something that's going to rekindle the hatred of the Vaki to the undead.
Well, they seem to be
Well.
dealing with their whole Earth Ganassi revolt right now anyway, so... You know, maybe Vakaris needs more representation amongst its leadership too. Grabella, you could be in charge of the Earth Ganassi down there, and the kobolds up here. Oh my god, it'd be amazing.
You keep talking about kobolds. Why do you have kobolds?
Remember how I said that we know that the, Region Lord didn't die to the blood hag?
Yes.
Well, first off, she told us, but, second off,
But did you catch her monologuing?
oh yeah, she just talked and talked and talked, but, I ate the heart of the dragon that attacked Vakaris. I am that dragon now. In an Earth Genasi that's undead. I'm a whole bag of, stuff.
Catherine just blinks at you. Wait. What?
Yeah,
But no, wait, hold on. I have a few questions. One, that heart is possibly about 400 years old. How did you find it? No, wait, don't answer that. Why? Ooh. Okay.
I don't remember why I ate it, to be honest, but, it
think we
seemed
kind
like
of
a
dared
waste
you.
not to.
I believe after that dragon was slain, after it rampaged all over Vakaris, one of the only things they had left that the Vakarans had preserved was its heart, and they had attempted to use it and utilize it to understand dragons and their magic and to be able to fight dragons in the future.
Vakaris' security sucks.
Apparently everyone's security sucks if you're infiltrated by a demon.
Yeah,
So 400 years later, you find a shriveled, dried-up dragon heart and you decide to eat it? Why?
well,
It did
first,
look pretty tasty.
it was not very tasty. I don't know. It was one of those, once we found it, we didn't want it to end up in the wrong hands, and I guess I was the only one brave enough to eat it, or big enough to eat it. And, it had been re-energized, we'll put it at that.
I super don't remember why eating it was the solution, by the way.
I don't
Well, it
think
was-
it
I
was
think
as
she just
noble as
ate
I'm
it.
making.
I don't think
it was
there was a
just-
reason.
You guys just dared her, but I'm making it sound better than it was.
Well, Grabella, you're leaving out the important part. But what was his name? The dumb vampire we killed. Talus.
Yeah,
Talus?
Talus.
He was actually trying to convince the kobolds that he could resuscitate their dragon. So it was all necromantic and shit.
Which is why they stole the heart and actually kind of had it going again.
And then we purified it, and then we
Yeah, you
dared
ate it.
Grabella to eat it.
Yeah.
So a half-revived, desiccated dragon heart, plucked from Duke Talus's hands?
And
No.
sitting in a very magical cauldron that sits on top of ley lines.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain is not enough. That is
Yeah,
such...
do you want me to get you a drink?
No, she just reaches for something on the table, like fucking the honey, and just sticks a spoon in and puts it in her mouth. Oh.
I don't know what's so hard to understand about this. It's all very basic thaumaturgy. I
But,
assume.
Mm.
I have its memories occasionally, or I probably could get more in touch with it if I wanted to, but I'm kind of trying not to get in touch too much with that.
Oh dear. Are you feeling all right? Any strange manifestations, scales, wings? It doesn't
I can breathe fire.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But any sort of feelings of rage or anger swelling up inside of you, or violence, perhaps?
I mean, I kind of do that anyway. So I kind of ended up being like the perfect vessel for it, because I'm a barbarian. That's just what I do.
The fires of rage, quenching the fires of the Red Dragon. Interesting.
But I have had some concerning dreams, which is why we should talk to all of these different well, the merchants don't need to know about this shit. We'll talk to them whenever get shit settled, but
Yeah, do you understand now why maybe a few merchants being upset about taxes is not the highest thing on our list of concerns?
but we do understand why it's important, for the record.
Yes, I do understand that the priorities lie elsewhere, and we must placate our merchants for now. But we must just instill them with a feeling that this place is safe and a good place for them to bring their goods. And with your people at the docks, you can definitely do that. You just need to convince them that they're paying what it's worth.
Yeah.
That should be easy enough. A businessman of your caliber, and Seaswab has shown himself to be competent with numbers. Show them some hard numbers and some proof that there'll be return on this investment, and they'll be putty in your hands.
Well, we got the guy for that.
Now, with that out of the way, we can focus on some of these dire circumstances. We have Vicaris teetering on the edge of chaos and potentially getting a war between the Vaki and the rest of Maginox, and we are still recovering. That's bad for everyone. I think that is probably what we should focus on now. Maginox is recovering, and we have other people, Azrael, your assassins, working on
They're
ensuring...
not my assassins, they're your assassins.
Yeah,
and apparently bad ones.
They're air quotes. You can't see me because my token doesn't have any hands, but I'm air quoting. But they're trying to make sure that the people, the residents of Maginox, feel once again safe with the leadership of the houses, and that we are stable and aligned in our goals.
I mean, I think you and us have come to a medium amount of understanding, and well, now you know what we're capable of and what we've been dealing with. But
That is a lot.
yeah. Setting up those couple of meetings would go a long way, and this might end up all being less of an issue if we have to deal with the problem I think we're gonna have to deal with now.
She thinks, well, what do you want to tackle first? The merchants? Vicaris?
Probably a good idea.
We can take care of the merchants. That won't take too long. We just need some time for C-Swab to get the papers together.
It's good enough. We'll have Vicaris waiting, but we also need to ensure that the Hamaki and the remaining ones aren't kidnapping people off the streets. And if they are, we need to find out where they're holed up and either turn them or jail them.
We might have a couple people that's, good at sniffing out information. Sort of people that can find things where birds don't fly around.
Good. And in return, you can utilize the service of my ravens. They can carry messages to and fro.
We'll post somebody at the bar that'll be the liaison for our information exchange.
It will be a simple raven, but I will give you this whistle. Oh, wait. Your Kenku. Here. She just makes some... There, that would call them.
Thank you. I won't always be there, but I'll make sure that they get regular information updates.
Seaswab will be able to call on the local, my local raven populace. He knows of the coded language. She smiles slightly at Seaswab, almost sadly.
Lady, I left my nice little Kenku, what would be the word? Tribe? No, not tribe.
A group of ravens is a group
Murder.
of ravens is a kindness. It's a
Or
murder
parliament.
of crows. No,
Yeah.
it's a
It's a
parliament.
parliament.
It's a parliament of ravens. It's also a kindness of ravens. It's a murder of
That's
crows.
silly.
My
The murder of
parliament in
crows.
the lighthouse, I left pretty early to sail on the seas.
Catherine calls it a kindness, by the way.
Well, Swamp calls it a parliament.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's regional dialect.
C-Swab would be correct, so it's fine.
Technically correct. The best kind of correct.
They're both.
Resident Beastmaster Azrael has spoken.
That's right.
I mean, Christina knows better. We've dealt with this shit for like, what, almost 6 years now?
Yeah.
Fucking kindness of ravens,
Fucking
please.
Murder of crows. All right.
The only one I'm upset about is why a group of kangaroos isn't called a kanga crew.
Why? Why not? Why
Yes,
not?
I'm asking. Why not?
But then, you must not tell a soul about what has transpired in Vakaris. Doing so, even a slip of a word, could start a war.
What do you think should be done? Because they're gonna notice that their leader's not around. It's been like a week.
Yes. Catherine thinks she's just looking at the table like, fuck. And you know that's just all that's going through her head right now. It's just fuck.
The problem is that we can only do so much. There's only 4 of us. And, you know, we're not gods over here.
And it's so
So
dangerous.
you worry about that. We're going to go worry about the other stuff.
I'll worry about the imminent war of the Vaki coming back to the surface. All right.
And also getting Kozlo a seat on the council.
That's non-negotiable, by the way, at this point.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on whether I'm needed for that, but I will be helpful if asked.
If we can get the Vaki off of our tail, and we still have a council left, yes, I think Kozlo would be appropriate. Let's make sure Maginox doesn't burn down in another undead despising revolution.
Yeah, it was messy.
I just
Yeah,
want
I'd
to
rather
say,
that not happen. That's where my bar is.
So for now, no word of the death of Zinvaki outside of these walls.
Okay, yeah, we need to get a letter to us. I think you'll figure that out. You're good at that sort of weird bird stuff. I'm still learning bird stuff. It's new to me.
Yes, well, if we send an emissary down to Vakaris, they're going to need to be someone of status. And I think if Oslo becomes an official member of the council, that would be something appropriate for him.
Kozlo blinks one eyeball at a time.
Ezreal just nods knowingly because everybody just keeps saying Kozlo would be like perfect for leadership roles. And like these are all people who like seem to make sound judgments in their lives. And Azrael just doesn't know any better. They're just like, okay, yeah, of course. Obviously.
Clearly.
Like Catherine's like, I see something special in Kozlo. Azrael looks like, I see cheese.
I just see a lot of cheese.
He is gonna be farting so much later.
What do you mean later?
Whoa.
Good God. Catherine, move.
I fear our dinner party has become less of a formal get-to-know and more of a on the verge of panic. It's not my intention, but I'm glad we spoke.
Yeah. And, yeah, I got nothing else. That was a whole lot of everything, yeah.
I am worried about you, Grabella. You are both a reborn and had consumed the dragon's heart that rampaged over Vicaris.
Yeah.
You could potentially become a poster child for everything that the Vaki hate.
Definitely why we should keep it more under wraps, boys.
She looks at all of you.
Hey, you're the one that just volunteered this information with someone we met 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, she kept asking about the kobolds. Wait, we have to talk about the kobolds.
That does explain why the kobolds are gathering around you. Dragons.
Yeah, I've mostly. If they start misbehaving, you let me know. I'll bap it on the head.
No, it is not me that is bothered by kobolds. The Vaki do tend to take some pleasure in hunting them.
Yeah, they have been stolen from quite a bit.
Yes, well,
I've tried to talk them out of doing that more often, but kobolds.
She just shrugs.
I'll worry about Vicaris for now. Let's make sure we're good with the merchants and the things at home. We'll go from there. Keep an eye out for the Hamaki, and make sure, well, tell your minions to make sure no one's getting kidnapped off the streets.
Will do. The lady, the people we got, there's a guy and a girl we kind of got at the top. I'll let them know and pass it along. They got good heads over their shoulders. Particularly, Grana.
And nods.
Here's the thing people don't understand about criminals. Sometimes, when you show them how to do everything legally, turns out it's still doing pretty much the same thing. Just crossing off the right paperwork.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
It's also not illegal if you're the one who makes the legal rules on the council.
Yes, but it is not my intent to get Kozlo on the council so he can begin rewriting the rules of law. Order is important to Maginox, as the creatures of the night tend to have dark desires.
I mean, you keep saying order, but you know,
It is necessary.
I don't know what Maginox you saw the last couple weeks.
There is some thought to be thrown at, having, your thumb
Tell you what,
on
we'll
the...
look through the law books later, and then we can decide what needs to be rewritten legally.
There is something to be said about, having your hand on the pulse of the underworld. It's gonna happen whether you, let it or not. As we have well observed.
That is true, and it seems like the underworld is more expansive than I thought, and now more dangerous.
We took, the big name off the street, but somebody's gonna come walking in thinking, that's an opportunity.
Catherine, puts down the honey she's been chewing on. Well, Kozlo, I dare say this has been a fruitful dinner. But I can see your pockets are bulging with cheese. Would you like to take some home?
What, me? Oh, I guess if you insist.
I'll get you a bag.
A little gobby bag.
A little gobby bag.
And thank you, Miss Ravencrest. This has been, I think, good for both of us, or all of us.
What did you call her?
I might have called her the wrong thing because I'm exhausted mentally. It's fine.
It's pretty on brand for us, though.
I don't have a face. What do you expect to be?
Oh, those Ravencrest, they fell to demonic corruption long ago.
It's fine.
Bark, bark, yip. No, I'm just kidding.
What did we do with that guy?
His little bag.
Was it Miz was in like an intense fucking
Yeah.
HR fucking Scientology
Oh, yeah. We haven't
audit.
seen Miz since
He's been in that for weeks.
Miz
been
is
in
gone
HR
and
retraining for a
Tugum is
while.
gone. Miz and Tugum are gone.
Yes.
Was that no? There was the like frosty one that turned into a dragon and flew off with Tugum, but there was also the
Yeah, that was Sick.
blood. Oh, Sick.
Yeah, Sick wasn't really a part of us, and then
Sick
Miz,
took Miz.
Sick was going to, but she took Tugum.
And
I don't
Tugum.
know that we. Oh, that's right. She showed up and was like, "Oh, I'll teach Miz a thing or two to make him not useless." Okay,
And she took him.
no. Yep.
Oh, she took him. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she took Tugum. And you haven't seen her since. Or Miz, or Tugum.
Yeah.
Well,
Tugum's been here in spirit.
But now we have a junk shaman, which
I'm
is
putting
way better.
I'm putting that in Miz's performance review.
You absolutely
Is that-
should. Takes extended vacations.
Is that
It's
actually his
unlimited
name?
PTO.
First name Junk, last name Shaman.
Yeah,
Mr. Shaman to you.
Mr. Junk Shaman.
Excuse me. He's definitely a doctor. He didn't go to 8 years of college for you to call him Mister.
That's true. I didn't go to 8 years of alchemy school just for you to call me
Mr. Dr. Junk Shaman.
The finest of trash.
Like doctor in the same way that like Dr. Phil is a doctor.
Yeah. Grabella's just like, you collect Pokemon, I collect the weird things.
I collect edibles.
And this junk shaman. That's Grabella's starter Pokemon, which is a little terrifying.
Technically, everything's inedible when you're a dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true. There's a lot more eating of people I could be doing.
Well, Kozlo, I'd like to thank you and your friends for coming here for dinner. It seems like my initial caution was unwarranted. I was worried that you were bringing additional bad actors into Maginox. And by bad actors, I mean literal demons. So I had to make sure you were clean. But my deep crow did not devour you right away, so I knew at least the conversation could continue.
Oh, is that what he does? That's cool. Is he like a demon sensing deep crow, or is that just what they do?
They tend to not like those types of things. But the deep crow was a gift from a Vakaran friend of mine.
Wow.
Deep crows usually produce some small clutches of eggs. This one I had raised from a young and weak bird. He is grown now and is looking for a permanent mate.
Well, as said before, that one over there would love to have a baby, so we see one out and about. We'll help.
I don't think Azrael would make a good permanent mate for a deep crow.
No, I meant if we see another deep crow, we could, like, help them with the swapsies and the... I don't know, I'm not good at this.
I don't actually know how that works, but if you say so, Grabella.
Well, you gotta, if she has another deep grow, then there's more deep growths, is what I'm understanding, so.
The deep crows tend to place their eggs near rivulets of lava as they thrive off of the heat, and thus the Vakarans are more in tune with them. This one I had brought to the surface for some healing and to understand the surface world. It decided to stay, but there are no deep crows on the surface. Mainly they run under in Vakaris. My contact has long since not responded to my messages, as I have taken another responsibility within Maginox. My vampirism proved to be the breaking point of our relationship.
You got a name?
Of course, I can write it down, but giving her my name will probably not fill her with feelings of comfort.
Oh yeah, definitely. We would have to be, subtle. Can you do that, Azrael?
Do what?
If we found this person, could you be subtle?
I don't understand the question.
We'll figure it out.
Just smiles at Catherine.
Here. Her name is Farah. It's
I wonder if your girlfriend knows her.
No, that's a good thought.
It is.
Oh yeah, I'm dating
possible.
the car and she's wonderful.
Catherine blinks. Your story gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah, it really does.
I think she likes him more without the face.
I don't think she does.
Farah is a druid and a warden like myself. She may be able to tell you more about the deep crows. And here, if you... she hands you a single raven feather that she's plucked from her collar. And she hands it to you.
Oh,
If you find another deep crow, and it accosts you, you might be able to buy yourself enough time to give yourself a 10-second head start before it starts incinerating you. If you allow it to smell this feather, it may become interested in a potential mate.
yeah. Well, there we go.
Finding it and, well, living to get close enough to one is another problem, but it seems like your friend is interested in them.
Oh, he has brought home some... You think I'm weird? You should see what Azrael brings home. I think he finds a new, we'll call it Fluffy, everywhere we go.
We have to keep the murder otter and the corpse hound separate, though.
Yeah, they don't like each other.
Turns out murder otters eat corpse hounds. Who would have thought?
What is a murder otter?
It's an otter that murders things. And it has like a little claw for a tail. So it has extra claws and big teeth. And it likes to eat dead things.
What? Oh, whoops.
Oh, I could show you sometime.
I would be curious. Is it native to Polaris?
Well, it's native to apparently the jails of the Thieves Guild. Former Thieves Guild.
Potentially
Yeah,
an import.
another rescue.
All of Azrael's pets are rescues.
Ethically sourced murder otters.
It's true.
Curious. Well, thank you for meeting with me, and I hope if you decide to meet with Farah, that it proves fruitful and you are not eaten by a deep crow.
Charlene is very good at talking to people. We'll see if we could help each other out on that one, or get Azrael one and then help you because of that. It's all good.
Wait a moment. Does your girlfriend know that Zinvaki is dead?
Yes, she's the only one outside of us that does.
Did we actually explain that to her?
I don't think
She
we
was-
explained that.
Yes,
to her.
we did.
Grabella, I believe, did.
We did. You were
'Cause-
all there for it.
Okay, because when we showed up, the only thing she was concerned about was you not having a face. So I couldn't recall if we had done it since then.
We can see how tight the lid is on that, and if not, regular message. She was obviously upset.
Catherine just nods slowly, but you can almost see the anxiety welling up in the vampire's face. Do you trust her?
Yes.
And you don't feel like she would use that information for her own benefit?
No,
Considering she was sent to hell and they saved her.
yeah, I mean, we've done a lot for each other, so I don't think she would do something like that without shocking me.
All
But
right.
I'll once we head out of here, I'll head straight back and talk to her.
I just want to emphasize the importance of not allowing this information to spread now that you know the potential consequences.
Yeah, I think she'll understand as well. Though I think she's kind of living with us these days. She does care a lot about that place.
All right. I hope, for all of our sakes, that she has kept a tight lid on these things.
No boy.
Catherine goes back to sit slowly in the chair. By the way, Grabella, I may know a lyric of the light that can heal your wound. But
Oh,
they do not currently reside in Maginox. They are currently, what I believe, in a city called Borealis in the region of Arctis to the south.
ah,
It is his name is Akashiba. He is a devout cleric of the light. I do not know how you will react to the light as a source of healing, but he is a kind person. And you may be able to beseech him if you are in the area for healing. But otherwise, the realm of night is not one for the light and the healing of physical wounds. We do not have churches or temples or anything like that here in Polaris. And thus our resources on utilizing the restorative arts is limited. I'm sorry for your plight, Grabella.
it's okay. It was something that needed to be done.
It is cruel that the Blood Hag attempted to steal your face. But even crueler that the is not grown back.
I'm just glad she didn't get a hold of a whole mess of kobolds.
Catherine nods. I wanted to briefly bring up Lena's issue. I know it is not mine, and it is not my place to inquire. But Lena had great concern about the Lich's skull in your possession. Liches and their kind have not been a part of the Maginox Council for ages.
Yeah, this makes sense to me.
And I believe out of all residents in Maginox, the Umbrellans, being entirely composed of spirit, are the ones most at risk of the Lich's soul-crafting magics. They are very susceptible to it, and I'm sure Lena is very interested in the destruction of what you have. But I understand that the captive of that skull has, like most, concocted clever ways to persist. But I also understand that she is not a clear and present danger. What is your plan for her, if I may inquire?
Our plan kind of went out the window with the old, I mean, that's why we were in Vakaris.
Catherine looks down at the table. Did you know Narcissa and Vakaris were lovers? He looks up at Gorbella. In an age far before both of us.
Definitely not.
She looks back down at the table. I'm not sure how Narcissa would respond to the news of the imminent destruction of Vakaris. Frowns.
Yeah, there's gotta be something that can be done, but, that's not the thing I'm the best at.
How dangerous do you think Narcissa is?
I don't think she's actually that dangerous.
No? What makes you say that?
Well, because she's like got a conscience about her people and protecting them and just keeping them away from whatever memory dragon lives beneath Arctis. She's really just a big softie.
Can you expand on that?
Nope, that's about it.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess she is like hoarding all of her people's souls, so they don't get eaten by the memory dragon. That's a little weird.
So Catherine looks lost in thought for a moment. I can see Lena is very intent on keeping the Lich away from Maginox. Do you consider her to be a danger at all?
Well, she wasn't very effective at protecting herself, and she's kind of trapped. Although she does like to mess with Gorbella's brain meat.
Which hasn't been a problem.
Gorbella, you are in a strange and unique spot as you carry both blood of a dragon within you and the swirling elements of earth and you have been blessed to return to Arctis after your imminent death.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on there, and I'm sure Narcissa is very interested in you in particular.
That she has not kept a secret. She also seems to, know my family.
Be
don't-
careful. She may know something.
She at least knows her name.
Do not let her manipulate you. She will do anything within her power to free herself from that prison that was put there for a reason. So she can persist all she likes with her hidden phylacteries. But she will remain alive, trapped within that whatever mirror, until she decides that it is not worth it anymore. So
Yeah.
she can stay there. But as long as we don't go around smashing her phylacteries that bind her, I don't think we have much to worry about.
Are you insinuating that she could actually leave her prison?
Narcissa is complicated because the way the Lich has sequestered her souls means that she cannot be entirely removed from Arctis or killed in a traditional sense. And what you cannot kill, you must imprison. Thus is Narcissa's plight. Her soul, and apparently the souls she has entwined her own with, she has decided to remove from the cycle of Arctis.
She has been pretty clear on that.
So, if she is trapped, let her be so, fighting her invisible crusade to outweight the world. Let her wait. Catherine does not seem to like Narcissa and speaks about her with very open disdain.
I mean, most people do.
I mean, I'm definitely waiting for us to leave this place so I can discuss with the group how I'm feeling.
Do you have big feelings that you need to
Oh,
share?
Sea Swab has big feelings that he will not be airing while there are still ravens around.
Isn't that what you just kind of learned, is that there are always ravens around?
Not underground of it. No, we learned that she doesn't have a lot of knowledge anywhere because of the fact that, like, all this shit we tell her about is news to her.
That's fair.
A blood hag? What? Didn't know about that. What? Narcissus and this didn't know about that. What? Vicaris didn't know about that. Like, come on, what do you know? You know about the docks.
Her reach does seem to be just here.
Well, she did say she doesn't really go underground, so
And that's where
all
we've
that
been.
shit is underground. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or she used to,
bats
but
are
they don't like
underground.
her. Yeah,
Well, also
she used
bats
to
are
go there.
underground, and bats are House Hamaki's purview. They were like spider drow, or not? I'm sorry, they were like bat drow. They were like spider drow. Hamaki were like bat drow. So the bats own the underground flying, and Catherine owns the overground flying. I will try to keep Lena's desires about the obliteratus at bay. As long as it's locked up, I don't think we have much to worry about. And as long as you all don't go destroying Narcissa's phylacteries, she can
But
rot
we did
for
find a
all I care.
contract.
A what?
We have a contract with Lena. Sea Swab will like muddle through his little ledger here and go, "Yep, right here."
Let's see it.
It is specifically to smash her skull with the obliteratus, though.
That is correct.
Not her phylacteries. So I suppose that's good.
Yep, line 3 here, smashing the skull of Narcissa. Once with the obliteratus, yada yada yada, standard boilerplate. Also, the big thing here was full control of the bar. Kozlo's hat. And full control of the docks.
I see this. I see she owes you a top hat.
Sorry, miss. This hat was a very hard sticking point of this negotiation, this contract. So I don't really like the dismissive tone.
I'm sure the haberdasher is on it.
Well, I think we're still waiting to actually see, the first concept art pieces.
Yeah, there's a couple rounds of R&D involved in this. We haven't gotten that far yet.
Well, you certainly did sign a contract. But Lolina wants the obliteratus to smash Narcissus' skull. I say you should just leave it.
Leave the skull?
Who is she? Wait, who is she? Who is she sending to open the gates?
The gates of...
The vaults of Icarus.
Well, that's interesting. You should mention that because we kind of lost one of them.
I think you lost both of them, and she took the other one back as well.
Oh, did she? Oh.
She did, yeah.
Kind of lost both of them.
Catherine stands up. I think we've learned a lot today. Please, take as much cheese and turkey as you like. Take it all, I insist. Have a feast back at your bar. I have a lot to think on.
Did we really learn that much? Or did just Catherine
I
learn?
think she learned more than we learned.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Did we learn anything?
But she also knows that we're fucking powerful now.
We learned a few things about her.
Yes.
We learned more about her than she learned about us, evidently.
Yeah.
Please, Seaswab, know that you are ever in trouble. You have a home here. There are Kengu brothers and sisters. We share stories from over the seas and across the isles.
I'll think about it.
Thank you for your hospitality. And, we'll be in touch.
Of course. Let me see you to the door.
She's up regather all of his papers, make sure he has Kozlo's contract with him.
I guess I'm carrying this giant turkey.
Grabella. You like turkey?
Kozlo
probably-
stuffs as much of the cheese in his bag as he can.
You know, it is kind of fucked up that you serve turkey in front of all your fucking were-ravens. Just saying.
Kozlo will also recollect the items that he had left by the door.
Are you insinuating that you are related to turkeys? I would consider that an insult.
Well, I'm just saying, birds of a feather, you know what I mean?
The-
I don't
the-
know what that means.
the Kenku, there's another Kenku who waves at you as you walk by.
You know how, all Ganassis aren't the same, but they're still all Ganassis? All
Yeah.
birds aren't the same, but they're still birds, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Grabella just agrees with you.
But there are definitely birds that eat other birds. All the
Sure.
time.
But Kozlo! Where's Kozlo? Kozlo's
He
lagging.
Getting his stuff.
Castle.
Kozlo, with all the cheese you took, maybe you could put charcuterie on the menu.
Thank you for coming. And I look forward to working with you in the future.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Catherine steps back inside.
Good God. Alright. I think we drop this feast off at the bar, and then, well, I got a girlfriend to go talk to about stuff.
I have a handful of ideas I'd like to run past the group up after that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a lot to talk about.
Right. That is where we will end today's session, as your dinner with Catherine is over. And apparently the sharing of information just meant a lot of information that you guys shared. You learned a little bit about Maginox and what was happening with House Vicadus and House Umbrellus and House Hamaki, houses of drow, vampires, and spirits. And all of them seem to have their own interests going into this. But one thing is for certain, there is a big danger lurking under Maginox, and that's Vicaris. They have a long history with hating the undead, as that is what drove these elves underground in the first place, was Polaris being a wild hellscape of essentially unregulated undead, just feral and running around a region of eternal darkness. No one wanted to come here until someone decided to carve out some a space for the creatures of the night to live in.
And
in
they
harmony.
also don't like demons, which apparently was a big problem.
Yes, so they don't. And well, for the Vaki, they were driven underground by the undead on the surface, and then they made a pact with an elemental, and then became essentially the lava drow. So they are kind of like an elf, like Ganassi, right? And then Narcissa did not. She's like, oh, I'm not going to make that a pact with an elemental. I'm gonna stay up here and fight and not run like a pussy. And she died. So that's that.
Everything's fine.
Everything is bad. But now, like, you want to open the vault. That essentially, like, the Vaki had told you this initially, but after they had come under the surface and made the pact with the elemental, they had got this hammer that was like, I'm gonna fuck up the undead, and they went and fucked up all the undead underground and took one look above ground and was like, nah, and then just retreated underground for the rest of time. And then Maginox appeared, and then they're like, oh, people are coming back as like people with consciousness. You should probably put that crazy ass hammer away. And so they did. But...
My feeling has definitely become that, like, the council houses, so like Lena, Catherine, the other one,
the other one,
Eris Alara,
the vampire one that I keep forgetting, because I don't think we've really like met them yet, right?
You have not.
So I am very much of like the way I've been interpreting what's been said has been like, oh, up here is fucked. Like, they keep coming to us like, well, you know, guys, we really want it to be this really nice way that I see you guys already working towards, but, you know, we kind of control it. And it's sort of like, do you though? Because
it seems like a very tenuous grasp, right? Because like creatures of the night they can be self-serving. They are usually like predators, right? So they're trying to instill some semblance of order in Polaris, which is Maginox, so people can be here and be safe and at least enjoy the region without, fear of literally dying, like, to being torn apart by undead. And it feels hard
like
to keep it together.
Lena and Catherine both came to like hardball us with like zero leverage.
Yeah.
Like, they both come to us like, hey, you need us. We're the council. Blah blah blah. We're gonna do this for you. You're kind of like, do we need you? Do we?
And do you? Do you? Like, you probably don't. You probably don't need them.
I'm gonna say it now just in case I forget. But C-Swap is definitely gonna bring up the fact that it's like maybe he's gonna have a crazy idea, but break the skull, free Narcissa, and then maybe side with her.
We'll see.
Well.
So
I didn't expect to welcome C-Swab to the dark side first.
Well, like it's definitely like the way it's been going. Of like, listen, if Azrael can fucking get us a good position, I'm just saying.
Get you a good position.
Well, like there's like there's still the chance that she's evil and we free her and she just kills us, right? Like that's still a possibility that has to be considered, right? 50-50.
Well, your position is Azrael's pet, so.
I'm sorry, I tried to negotiate to get you a deep crow.
What? That's a good position. I don't know what you're talking about. Azrael takes very good care of their pets.
That's true. I'm okay with being an Azrael pet.
C-Swab was looking out for all of us in the negotiation.
That was good.
Deep and ancient power? Check. Rebella. Businessman?
Oh my
Cosmo?
God.
Check.
Check.
Azrael
Hey.
Menagerie? Check.
Check.
We do need to stop telling everyone hints about Grabella being a dragon. Because that's eventually going to go very
Maybe
poorly.
Rebella needs to stop freely sharing information about what we
Yeah,
got
you were the
going
one
on.
that did that.
Yeah, you kept bringing up the kobolds!
I don't
Okay.
understand.
We
You're
don't
the
have to
kobold
say,
leader.
oh yeah, there's kobolds. That's because Grabella's a dragon. Like, there's so many other ways to explain that.
Kobolds mean a dragon, though.
Also, if Grabella didn't want everybody to know that she was a dragon, why is she wearing a gigantic dragon mask?
It's gold. It's golden. It's got gems in it. It's like, look at my dragon mask.
Yeah. I feel like Grabella has a brand.
But I also didn't make the mask.
No, but you didn't say no to the mask either.
You're like,
It was
dragon,
kinda
what
just
dragon?
on me when I woke up.
I can't hear anything from the depths of this mask, but
Yeah.
does it look like a dragon?
It's true.
Yeah.
It is impossible for her to take it off, even though.
Isn't it a kobold thing?
This is
Not
the
just-
way.
Yeah. Not if we want people to keep talking to us.
So now the question is, now that you know that Narcissa is kind of like bound to this place, but she has phylacteries, so she's alive but bound. You guys gonna free Narcissa?
We get it. You gotta kill the Horcruxes. Got it.
You gotta find all the MacGuffins.
She doesn't have enough energy to do a lot at the moment, and we
I mean,
are
Narcissa
quite aware
cannot
of
do
this.
anything. Narcissa
Yeah.
is bound, so. And the only reason that she has even enough power to even talk to you guys is because she ate a person to do it.
Also, the nerve of some of these merchants to go cry to the council, like, we're paying too many taxes in Metronox.
Look, I'm excited that I maybe negotiated a spot on the council for Kozlo. We're going to get this fucking Kaamos Ascended crossover episode come hell or high water.
That's
This is
my
fair.
that's my new end goal. Is like either we negotiate with the current houses for a Kozlo spot on the council, or we take a spot on the council by force with a new regime. Either way, it's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to end well for you, for any of us, but I respect the gumption.
I definitely feel like right now we have the most amount of bargaining power for that.
We're getting there. I feel like there's still some things that are a little out of our grasp.
Knowing who's on the council, there's a 0% chance anybody takes a seat on the council by force. But, look, props.
Well, I don't know that, Azrael. I don't have that information.
Azrael doesn't either.
We'll just cast slow, and kite the boss in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's definitely a strategy that will work a second time.
that's great.
It
Make a wisdom
It
save.
always worked in EverQuest. I did that shit for literally days straight in EverQuest. It always worked. Can't fail.
Mom
There, dots.
teleports
Keep
behind
going.
you. Nothing personal, kid.
Good God. We are so fucked.
Well, you guys have gotten
Are we?
yourself wrapped up in some business politicking. The life of a burgeoning business owner. I love it.
It
Well,
still
that's
cracks
one
me
off.
up when fucking Catherine's like, I do see something in you, Kozlo. Like, what do you see? What do you see?
Cheese. That's what she says. Yeah, she says, I see this. Cheese.
I can feed this man cheese and he will do what I want.
I can also see blood in you. Cheese and blood.
Delicious, delicious blood.
Is that the delightful hint of gunpowder I taste there?
It's got smoky notes, like really smoke. Jesus Christ.
What?
All right, everybody. Thank you for playing with me. We will have more shenanigans next week. I hope you enjoyed the dinner session and a little bit of politicking.
Yeah.
I will see you all next Monday. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Catch y'all.
Good night, everybody.
See you.
All right. That's it for Arctis today. Whoa. Whoa. Thanks for watching. Catch us live on Twitch. And catch our shorts and funny moments over on Twitter and TikTok. And watch our VODs live on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.